us earlier. Welcome everyone who's here. We're so excited that you are here for this vision quest. So wherever you're tuning in from in the world, we'd love to just connect with those of us here live on the call. So where you're tuning in from and your intention for joining this journey, what brought you here today?
Patricia's calling in from Portugal.
Amazing.
Wow. Welcome, Melody. Good to see you, dear.
So the structure for this vision quest that we will be embarking on together today and tomorrow is we'll be here live within our group both days, 9 a.m. Central Time, and the full journey will be about an hour and a half. Today we're going to dive into the topic of the importance of really having this clear vision and going through the visioning process, and also working a bit to uncover that uniqueness within each of us. And so it's just this returning home to our essence and really this exploration from within. And so exploring this through a meditation at the end. And then tomorrow we're going to move through breaking through resistance. So naturally, as we begin to get clear on this vision that wants to emerge through us, maybe there are these subconscious patterns, habits that begin to make their way to our awareness. They begin to come to the surface, which is beautiful, because once we have this awareness, we can begin to work with them and we can begin to transform them. And so tomorrow's journey is all about breaking through resistance. And so we're going to do a full breathwork journey tomorrow as well, to really embody this knowledge and embody the wisdom from within, and whatever it is that wants to come through. And so there is a worksheet for today's journey that will just support you in gaining clarity as we move through this. So Patty can put the link for this worksheet in the chat. And we welcome you to download this and use this as an additional resource. So we're so grateful to see you all here, and we thank you. So we invite you to bring your full energy to this event. As with anything, we always get what we put in. So we invite you to be fully here, especially in this live environment. The energy of groups is so powerful. So we're so excited that you're able to make it here for the live call. Is there anything you want to add before we dive in?
Yeah, so I just posted, everyone, the worksheet is in the group, but just wanted to touch on what Kelly said of just the power of a group energy and how much having each other, and why we're here today doing this event together, because we have recognized the power of having a support system and the power of having a community. We have founded Soul Tribe Sisters because, as each of us rise into more of who we truly are and awaken to our uniqueness, which really is about today, we start to vibrate more about our core resonance, our soul resonance. And when we do this, we naturally start to attract our tribe, our people that are here to support us along the way. And it feels so good. Like our heart literally opens when we're around those people that are magnetically brought to us, interwoven. We're all connected across this beautiful planet. We're connected here today, even if we're not here in person. And what we've found over our journey is the power of the mirroring effect of when you are supported by another, when you doubt yourself, or when you have questions, or when you're looking for feedback, or where there's a part of you that you can't see, that something really, your gifts, there's shadows that sometimes, and the clouds that block us from fully, embracing how beautiful we truly are. And having a community really helps us to gain that sense, of that support and that feedback. And we've been, we started a business together, which she'll talk about in a moment, but it's just been such a supportive a journey to have that, to have her and to have, each other, and we've been guiding groups for the past 2.5 years and seeing just like the magic and the energy that transpires when we come together. And maybe this past year you felt alone, maybe you didn't have the support of a community. So we really want to invite all of you, to be lively in the chat, to connect with each other, to feel this sense of belonging, that we're here to support you, and to really just awaken through these powerful conversations. When we're together connected, we can illuminate to a deeper sense of our own, a deeper level of awareness within our own being, so we can more clearly see our power and our love that intertwines and connects all of us.
Yes. And so we're so grateful for each of you that are here within the Soul Path community. And we want to introduce ourselves, because I realize we haven't done that yet. For anyone we haven't met, my name is Kelly.
And my name is Patty.
So welcome for anyone that we haven't formally connected with yet. We're so happy to have each one of you here. So I'd love to share just a little bit about our background and our story, so you can connect to really what was our inspiration for creating this container, this group. So we have different paths that led us here, but kind of similar points of really big transitions within our life, where we hit this point where a change needed to be made. And for me, this was kind of like a breaking point within my job of complete lack of fulfillment, lack of purpose, which led to barely being able to get out of bed in the morning. And so this led me on this path of exploration. And for Patty, it was more health reasons, like guiding her back to finding the state of balance and harmony within herself. So we found ourselves both on this small island in the Gulf of Thailand, where maybe we connected with some of you that are on this call. And this is what led us to explore with lots of different healing modalities, working on all layers, all aspects of our being, physical, mental, emotional, and seeing the integration of it all. And we met the founder of Soma, and we started doing a lot of breath work. And we saw as Soma Breath was just this vision being brought to life, and we are there within the energy of this vision being created to serve and to help so many people, and the energy behind this vision. And as we were doing this breath work and working on with these different modalities that we're going to share some of them with you today, this is what led to the creation of and the ideation of our own business, Bhavana Bottle. It was this problem that we saw that actually shifted when we started doing the breathwork, shifted into how could we be part of the solution, and harnessing our own gifts, our own talents, our own passion, our own inspiration to create this company to donate back to the oceans, to be this reminder of love and gratitude within the world, all the things that we wanted to see. We were connected to this vision, and this vision came so clearly through, and it was what really pulled us forward. It pulled us through any obstacles, any belief that we couldn't do it, and all we were connected to was this bigger vision of our why we were doing it, and this vision of really to help create this product to almost like a seed, and it's just like a small way to be part of the solution that we wanted to see within the world. And as we did this, we learned so much, we grew so much, we learned the power of community, and we learned the power of really these foundational pillars, which we designed our coaching programs with, and how we began to work with one-on-one people of really, what is it that lights up your soul? What are these unique gifts, talents, skills, passions, and how can you channel this into this offering that you want to bring? And so we were really at the foundation for two of these movements of Soma, of our own company, and watched as it was just this seed planted. But when there was this connection to this bigger vision, to this bigger why that was really pulling us forward, it's like all the resistance faded away. Mm-hmm. And so this is really the foundation for what we share. Is one step is the visioning process, is connection to this bigger vision. And then from there, you're able to really meet this strategic, intuitive roadmap, taking one step at a time, listening to the guidance within, and also creating this inner resonance. So working through any blocks that may be keeping us playing small, making us not feel worthy of what we want, and really creating that full body yes with everything that we share.
Yes, I love that. The full body yes. It's like, so all of your cells are vibrating as in the vibration of the wish fulfilled. You know, if we don't have this old paradigm, I'd say, of visioning and manifesting is really like this way of asking, like, what can I take from life? Like, what can life give me? You know, from kind of this state of lack, like we're not whole already, you know, and it's like when we can just slightly shift that and start to use these tools in our everyday life, simple shifts, you know, reframing our beliefs, you know, coming back into this sense of, you know, the I am presence within each of us, and asking these questions of not what can I take, what can I get, but how can I serve? And the simple vibrational shift of the asking that empowered question opens up a whole new spectrum of possibilities and opportunities that are in line with the universe wants to provide us with the solutions of when we ask these powerful questions, you know? And so it's also our visioning process. It's really shifting from this external pressure of feeling like we need to create, or we need to constantly be hustling and busying ourselves, you know, and shifting into this being driven by this inner purpose, this inner fire that is within each of us, that's connected to, you know, our calling, you know, this calling that's calling us home, you know, into our uniqueness, and embracing that. And the more we come back to who we truly are, the more we blossom like this flower. And as the flower blossom, it naturally wants to spread and share its seeds, you know, with the world, with the earth. And as we are each like our own unique flower, our essence wants to naturally be shared. And we start to see that everything we've ever been through in our life was happened for a reason. We start to see the connections, you know, that everything, all these little seemingly fleeting, meaningless moments turn into deep, meaningful moments. And we start to see how everything we've been through grew us, and that it is an empowering point that we can start to bring into our vision and see how we can impact and serve others. And this is where we start to really access these deeper, you know, levels of fulfillment. And we don't feel like we're just busying ourselves. We're just trying to be productive, looping from patterns, you know, of the past, kind of spinning on a wheel. But our work actually becomes an expression of our love, you know, made visible in the world. And we start to tune in with this more creative, you know, playful flow of energy, and we're expressing, you know, what really lights us up. And there's a different energy that comes through with that. We start living in a different vibration because we're just simply allowing ourselves to rest and to bring forth that which is within us. And it really does have a whole different quality, you know, of the way we live our life. And so it really moves from also this old paradigm of feeling like it's us, you know, against the world. And like I said before, it's like asking, well, what can I get from life? More to seeing everything as connected, that everything is one, and that the universe is, how can I be a part of this beautiful co-creation of life, and what can I give back? And so many beautiful opportunities and people and synchronicities start to open up when we open ourselves to be a portal of this unique expression of source, and let that flow out in our life.
Yes. Yeah. And that's why really the foundation of it goes back to first diving within ourselves to uncover all of this magic, all that already exists within us. And then it's just like you're opening the channel to let it flow through. So that's a bit of the process we're going to dive into today, because as we silence the mind, we silence maybe what seems rational, what's been conditioned to believe, silence the mind and open the heart. And that's how we open this channel to really let this love of that is unique within each of us. We were each born with this unique blueprint. None of us are the same, which is so absolutely amazing that we each have our own unique gifts. And it's sometimes maybe we see another doing it a certain way and we're like, oh, I should do it that way. Or society tells us we should do it. We need to have this, or maybe they've conditioned a specific definition of success, any of this. And it's like, that's what's driving us. Versus when we tune in, what is really driving us, which is from within. And that is our values. What really lights us up? What do we value and what do we want to bring to the world? And so we designed this training for anyone that is feeling in that place of maybe a lack of fulfillment or a lack of purpose within their life, or they're longing for a deeper sense of fulfillment or purpose. And maybe they don't know the next step. Or maybe it's someone that feels they have done the inner work, don't mind Patty, who's disappearing. she's dancing between dimensions.
Yes.
So has done the inner work and has all of this knowledge, has all of this wisdom, but it's like, how do you really bring it all together and integrate it and reach exactly who you feel you're here to serve, like your ideal client, your ideal, whoever it is that you want to work with, or in whatever form, whatever creative expression you want to bring that forward. And maybe it's different for each one of us. So it's just this exploration, this curiosity as we dive within ourselves, and this is where this clarity comes. And so there's so much importance in the visioning process, because for one, as we get more clear on our bigger vision, we have this clarity on what we want. Of course, it's going to be easier to call this in. It's going to, because we know where we're going, we can create a roadmap to get there. It's like our North Star. It's driving us. It's pulling us forward. And also, as you, maybe if you're met with some challenging times as you work through this, it's like that vision, that bigger why. It's something bigger than just yourself. It's like, how can I serve? You see the bigger picture. That's what's pulling you forward, and it'll pull you through those challenges with ease, because you're connected to that bigger vision. It's like we've all had that feeling of when you're super excited about something, like you just can't wait to get out of bed in the morning and drive your energy into it, because it's like it's pulling you forward. So it's this connection to this bigger vision. And also, before we even begin the visioning process, an important aspect we like to bring in is looking at what are your values. So what are your top 5 values? What are the things that you value most? Maybe this is connection. Maybe this is being of service. Maybe this is a sense of freedom in your mind, freedom in your body, freedom of your time. It can look different for each one of us. So getting clear on what are my top 5 core values, my non-negotiables. And I encourage everyone to even do just a reflection on how I'm currently living my life, how I'm currently spending my time in alignment with my values. And if not, that's okay. This is all beautiful part of the process, bringing our awareness to it, shining a light. And so we can see it, and then we can begin to integrate our values more into this new vision we're creating. So I'd be curious to know anyone, if they're crystal clear on what your top 5 values are, just 5 words. What are the 5 things you value most? Maybe put them in the chat, share it with us. We can get this inspiration flowing. Or how many of you are really clear? You know what your values are, and you feel they're really integrated into your life. Or even reflecting, maybe there is just one value, one thing that you really value, and you realize, oh, there's room for improvement. There's room where I can bring more connection into my work, more connection into my life, where I can open myself up for, and defining what connection means and looks like for you. So this is really the first step in this process. This is one of the questions on the worksheet. So I encourage each of you to spend some time in reflection on this. What are your values, and is how you're currently living in alignment with that? Go ahead.
I was just going to repeat a couple. Carrie said, living and sharing my inner gifts and talents. That's beautiful. And Lisa, lack of worry. And yeah, absolutely. That's like the more clear we get, the more that I love how Kelly said the example of, it's like our values are almost like this, or a vision is our North Star. But when we know what are the non-negotiables, what really lights us up, what really brings that fulfillment in the now, and we can infuse that into every aspect of our life, into our relationships, our work, our home life, and everything starts to be infused with the things, the qualities of life that really resonate with us, we not only we start living them in the now. And so it's not based on, we don't have to have an external goal achieved in order to feel whole now, to feel fulfilled now, because we're actually a living embodiment of what matters most to us, in our life. And maybe this starts to help to redefine, this external conditioned version of what success is, like just a financial number. And then when we get there, we still feel empty. How many times have you gotten to a goal, when you get there and then you're immediately either on to the next one, or it didn't feel the way the story you had created in the mind, because we make up stories, oftentimes to think that the external goal is going to bring us, an internal a feeling. But we can cultivate that feeling now. And it starts with, in getting clear, some of you, we can put up this little diagram. It's a beautiful visual that, if we have it up, that I created. And it was just kind of based on, maybe some of you guys have heard of the zone of genius, or in the Japanese culture, it's called the ikagi. But it comes down to like this reason for being, or your purpose, your why you're here. And it's really when we start to look at this, and it's aligning, our life with what we love. Like, what do you love to do? What lights you up? And these can be some simple things, whether that's writing a poem, whether that's painting, taking a walk in nature, and finding those moments, those memories in life where you felt the most alive. And what was the essence of that moment? What was it about that moment? Maybe it was being connected by those that you love the most, that you trust, that brings peace to your nervous system and you feel relaxed. Maybe it's animals, what is it? It's unique for each of us. And then, what are you good at? What are your unique gifts that when brought into this world, they just innately flow out of you. And oftentimes we aren't really clear on what these innate gifts are, because they're always with us. And so they're very subtle. And oftentimes these are things that people compliment you on that maybe we haven't really let ourselves fully receive. People compliment us, oh, thank you. And we're on to the next one. But oftentimes, if you really take time in a meditation to reflect on what is it that people have said, thank you so much. You impacted me in this way, or, I'm really drawn to you because of this, or there's something you said that just stuck with me. And there's a flavor. There's, we each have our unique medicine that is innate within us. It's part of our aura. It's part of our energy system. So to start to kind of reflect on those things of what has been echoed to you, because each of us are reflections, of the one. So what have people reflected to you that you can now more fully, embrace in your life? And then also, as we start to get more clear on these things, we start to align with what could be my vocation, which is also another word for like your sacred calling. And it's like, as you get more clear on what you love, what you value, what your gifts are. And often our vocation can also come out of the challenges that we've been gifted in our life that are unique to your path. These challenges, instead of looking at them from why did this happen to me, of like, this happened to me because as I grew through this is the wisdom that I harvested through the most challenging moments of my life. And that the reason why maybe I went through that challenge so that I could rise like a phoenix, from the ashes, from that challenge, from that shadow. Now you're in the light. And so when you have moved and overcame a challenge, you now can shine your light on those that are still in the darkness. And so it helps to reflect to us when you start to think of your challenges and what you've been through, what you've grown through, who is still in the darkness? Who can you shine that your special light on to as a symbol of hope? And each of us go through our unique set of challenges in life, and we can think of those when you were in that space of maybe of doubt, of in fear, of that feels like everything's closing in on you. What would you have wanted to hear? Who would you have wanted to show up in your life, and how can you be that, to help and to shine a light to those that you're here to serve in a way. And so this is just kind of like one picture to kind of bring a holistic view of how everything in our life can come together in this beautiful mosaic of like where you can make a difference in the world, and it is aligning that with something that the world needs right now. And there's a very specific group, for each of us that's calling us our unique medicine. And we are the antidote. As we become more in tune with who we are, we see how we can be of service.
Yes. Yeah. And as we align with this, as we gain clarity on this through this process of self-inquiry and reflection, then we have this clarity, and then it's like the decision-making process becomes easy, because as we move into making decisions, as all these opportunities begin to arise, we know exactly what we value. We know exactly what is in alignment with us rather than what we think we should do. And so we're making decisions based out of alignment versus based out of the fear-based mind. So that's another tool that this process really helps us to dive into is making decisions with clarity, with this knowingness, with this sense of connection and centered in what it is we truly want and what it is we value most. And so this process, I think Patty put it in the chat, but this question of really, defining what success looks like to you, and what does the success look like and feel like? Because it's also a feeling. It's because how many of us have, wanted something, got exactly what we wanted, but we still feel maybe empty, or this feeling of emptiness and lack returns. But it's like, as we move through this process, if we can create this feeling from within, we can resource it from within ourselves. So this feeling of connection, this feeling of health within our being, of inspiration, we can begin to, then when we achieve what it is we want, which we will, because you are the vibrational match from that, you're creating from a place of wholeness rather than a place of lack. You're making decisions from a place of wholeness versus a place of lack, and everything begins to change. So it's really this process. What we do is we resource it from within, we create it from within in this present moment. And then as you move in, as it comes into your external world, it's like there's this deep sense of fulfillment and purpose. And as we talked about with the values, as you infuse these values into every facet of your life, this naturally leads to living a life on purpose, because you're living in exact alignment with what it is that you truly want. And so as we move into the visioning process today, I encourage you all to set both an inner and an outer goal for everything that maybe you want to bring into your life. So an example of this is if you have a monetary goal you want to meet every month, to maybe you want to make, let's just make up a number, 15,000 a month, doing exactly what you want, serving exactly who you want to serve, sharing your unique gifts and talents. What would this feel like? What's the underlying desire behind this external desire? So you have this goal, and that's beautiful. It's amazing to have goals, external goals, but we also want to be able to resource it from within. And so maybe this will give you a sense of freedom of your time, freedom of being able to share and share exactly what you want to share with, and connect with who you want to connect with. Maybe there's this deeper sense of purpose. You feel like you're really tuned and tapped into what you are here to share with your unique gifts, as Patty spoke about, like your unique blueprint. You're really harnessing that, tuning into what's the underlying or what's the inner goal. So as we move through this visioning process, we move through what it is we want externally, but also what's the inner desire and what does this feel like? And we begin to resource this within our body. So this is why we also move into, and we integrate a lot with meditation and breath work within the tools to create this inner resonance. And so breath work is an amazing tool to actually shift our physical state of being, to shift our energetic state of being, and really create this feeling within our body. So it's actually raising our vibrational energy, attuning us to the vibration of what it is that we want. And in that, it's just turning on, it's like turning on your inner magnetism. You become a magnet for what you desire, because there's already this sense of enoughness, this wholeness within you. You are a match for exactly what you want. And you feel that. And other people feel that as well, because we live in a world of energy. And as you begin to vibrate and feel that, it's like that people feel, wow, I feel their energy. I feel that. How can, you would begin to attract those types of people. And so it's really this tool. It's like this North Star, this guiding compass. So we can begin to make these decisions from this place of alignment, and really begin to gain awareness on our subconscious mind, which our mind are amazing gifts, and your mind can either be your worst enemy or your best friend. And so it's training your subconscious mind to work for you. And this is another really powerful aspect of the visioning process that we move into, is as we move through this, maybe you will gain some awareness into some limiting conditioned beliefs that keep you playing small. That this usually comes in the form of the small, like, nagging voice in the back of your head that says, oh, but you can't do that because you don't know enough. You would never make enough money doing that. This fear-based mind that comes in and keeps us playing small, and maybe keeps us making decisions out of what we think we should do, rather than what truly lights us up, what truly lights up, fuels our soul. And so we want to become aware of when these conditioned beliefs come in. And this visioning process is a great tool to bring this to the surface. And so that's why we use tomorrow, because then tomorrow we get to work with what arises today. And it's really this process of, it's like looking at your mind as a garden, and maybe there's these weeds within your garden, these limiting beliefs that keep you stuck in your current circumstance, maybe keep you stuck in action, or feeling overwhelmed, or using tools of using distraction instead of actually really aligning with what you want. So it's like we begin to see these beliefs, see these weeds within our garden, and instead of just cutting them so they can grow back, we address them from the very root. And we address them from the root, and we begin to plant these new seeds of what we truly do want. And this is where the power of the visioning process lies, is as we begin to shift our focus onto what it is that we want, we begin to get our reptilian brain to work for us, the part of our brain that filters external stimuli. Because then, as we're focused on what we want, we begin to see new possibilities. We begin to see new opportunities, new people that can maybe support us on our path, or that we can support. We begin to see expands our reality tunnel. And so it's getting your subconscious mind to begin to work for you. And this is a matter of really placing your focus, your intention on this bigger vision day after day, feeling into it. So this is just one exercise we're going to do today, but we encourage you to stick with this. At least spend 5-10 minutes every morning tuning in with this bigger vision, creating this feeling from within. A simple practice we even use is we record our vision. We write it out as the worksheet will guide you to do, but we write out this vision, whatever it comes through after the meditation, after you drop into this expanded state and open this channel to allow the vision to flow through. So we're turning off the analytical, judgmental mind, and we're allowing this vision to flow through us. And so after that, we encourage you to really write it out, write this vision, allow it to just flow. And once you feel really connected to this vision, you can even record it on a simple software. We use Soundtrap. It's a free software. You can record your voice reading your own vision, put some inspirational music over it, and listen to it every day, 5 minutes every day. Tune in with this feeling, see it, feel it in your body, and carry that energy with you throughout your day. And there's so much power in really listening to your own voice reading you this as well, because it's showing your subconscious mind, as you see it, as you feel it, you have this belief, oh, I can do this. And you begin to naturally break through these beliefs, these patterns of doubt, of fear, of hesitation. And instead you're in the energy of, yes, I can, connected to that vision.
I love that. Yes. And each time, when you're hearing your own voice, and you're speaking it to your cells, to every cell in your body, has a consciousness. So you're really like whispering, your soul vision into your body, this beautiful intelligence moving through us. And you can start to feel it, feel that resonance, not only with your own voice, but with your vision, and also feel the dysresonance. If there's any areas and when you say it, there is some doubt, that is calling for your embrace, that's calling for your compassion, to breathe life into that area, to breathe in some openness, and to be present with those areas within our body that we may be holding resistance. So there's so much power in tuning into that, the great your why every day. And one of my favorite things to do is, to think of like coming back to the why, like, who are you here to impact? Like, if you were to fully step into your full soul expression, sharing your gifts, living in alignment with your values, like if there's anyone who is in front of you, saying, thank you so much. You just impacted me, in this way. You just changed my life. Thank you for bringing this forth to me. What are those words? And to like, let that just be showered over you in your system of like, when you do, this living in the state of this wish of fulfilled, and sharing and being in this flow of service. And one thing I've noticed is, like Kelly said, you start tuning our reality and filtering our reality to start to see and tune in with the conversations that are happening all around us. So often, our brain has to filter so much information, but when we're clear on who we're here to serve and why and how we can help them, it's like these people, the universe just brings them to you, and you start to tune in. There may be 100 conversations going in around you, but your brain tunes into the one of the person, that may need you, or that may be that connection to your next pivotal point in your roadmap. And this is kind of the part of the intuitive roadmap, because as we tune in to our inner guidance system, we tune into that more resonance with our soul expression, the universe and life meets us halfway by bringing those people, and we're attuned to see them. We can actually catch those opportunities in our consciousness that normally they're always available to us. When you hear the quote that we're surrounded in a world of limitless possibilities, and we truly are, but we are the tuning fork. And so we have to be aware of that, which is all of the gifts, all of the abundance that is available to us, that we can step into and be guided and by this and take inspired action each step of the way. And this really opens this feeling of just like feeling like, how many of you have had those moments where it's just synchronicities, like profound synchronicities, where someone shows up, someone echoes something you just said in your meditation that morning, and that person just comes up to you and, is like the answer of that call. And it's just like, we are in that frequency, and we can step, attune more and more to this. And this is really what that flow, feeling and flow. It's when we let go of that resistance, we're just like actually relaxing into the ever flow of life that's always trying to take us and align us with our calling, with the expression of our purpose. It's like this river of energy, and our resistance, because we think it should be a different way sometimes, noticing, where that resistance is continually showing up as a pattern in our life. And like, what would happen if we just surrender to that and let the river of life, take us towards our vision as we attune to it.
Yes. I love that image of the tuning fork. And it really is, it's just this. So that's what we're going to dive into in today's meditation. It's just a short 12-minute process that really helps us to go within. So as we slow down, as we drop into stillness, and we can allow this wisdom, this insight that is always available to be heard. Maybe it's just a whisper at first. Maybe so we're always getting these intuitive hits. It's not like if you're not feeling, you feel maybe disconnected, but your intuition is always speaking to you. It's just actually slowing down enough to hear the whispers. And as we do this again and again, the whispers become louder and louder until that is what becomes our driving force, rather than this voice of maybe fear and the voice of making decisions out of fear or lack. It's like making decisions out of this place of real connection. And this it comes to almost every day, just feeling this guidance. You feel this infinite support, and it's just like life is just flowing for you, and you can't even. There's that term, I think it's a new term a lot of people are using, being in flow, but it really feels like that, like you're just flowing down this river, and it's just like, whoa, that, this person came in and guided me here, and it's like this perfect like picking up the breadcrumbs, and they're guiding you along and along. And it's just like, you don't need to know the full path, because sometimes we get stuck in overwhelm. We have this big vision. Maybe we get stuck because we feel like we need to know the full roadmap, but we just need to know the next step. And so this is a tool to just become clear on the vision, and also a tool to resource it from within. And so we're really cultivating that feeling from within. And before we move into this process, I just like to premise that as we all are unique and we all experience the world in different ways, the visioning process is going to be different for each of us. Some of us are very visual, and maybe you do see a very clear vision that's flowing through. Maybe it's more of a feeling. Maybe you feel it in your body. As you think of something, it feels expansive, it feels open. And as you think of something else, it feels contracted. And listen to the guidance of your body. Maybe it just simply sounds like this a thought, but it's like a thought so clear that you question, was that my mind? It's like that voice that's so clear, this knowingness that comes through. And so it can come through in different forms. So if you don't see a clear vision, that's perfectly fine. Use your dominant sense, the sense that feels most alive for you, and begin to listen to these whispers in the wind. And even take maybe an inventory of when you feel guided throughout your week. Begin to write down these synchronicities as you're like, whoa, that felt like, maybe when that person said something, I got goosebumps. I just felt so open, so connected. Just begin to recognize those signs and recognize the guidance that is always around.
I love that. It is. It's like a deepening into this trust of your body. Like this, sometimes it seems like we've been conditioned almost to fear our bodies and to trust, the information of the external world more than this beautiful guidance system that is always speaking to us. And like, it's just, as we deepen in that relationship, and we move through life with this feeling of deep, trust and embracing all of these beautiful messages that are constantly arising and being brought forth for us to embrace and take into daily action. So I love everything about that.
Wonderful. So before we dive into the visioning process, I'd love to just ask, and you can share in the chat just a number. How connected do you feel to your bigger vision right now as we move into this process? Maybe on a scale of 1 to 10, you don't have that much clarity, or 10, you're like, yes, I have clarity on this vision. I know it. Where are you on this scale? Just as we move into this process.
Just want to say hi, Claudia. She joined us a little bit later, and we had a couple of people. Carrie said that success is having a thriving Reiki, yoga, and Soma breath and coaching business, using the tools of connection with divinity and the divinity with those I serve. That's so beautiful. With plenty of time to connect with family, nature, gardening, feel the freedom of having beautiful things and being able to travel wherever I am drawn. Feeling small is exactly what I'm working on, needing to pull them up from the roots. As I continue to do this, shifts are happening. Thank you so much. I need to continually believe in myself.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
And that feeling small, I think so many of us can relate to that. We play small, and but it's like once we connect to that essence of who we are, it's almost like that it shifts everything, because it's not playing it's playing from this place of just complete wholeness. It's almost like the energy like can't, it has to be expressed. It's like once the channel it opens, it's like it has to be expressed, because as Patty talked about, it's like we're so clear on who we can help, and it's just like that shift even in that mindset.
And Lisa, well, is also here. Got some other Soma breath instructors here. Feels like the universe is pulling you rather than feeling pushed. Absolutely. That's one of our favorite quotes.
So I'd love to just, before we dive into the meditation, I recommend doing it's seated, in a seated position, wherever you're most comfortable. I would love to just read a poem that really premises this. And so this poem was written by Zana Keith Lee. And so if it feels good for you, you can gently close your eyes, just relax, open yourself to receive these words. You'll know it's meant for you when the idea of never even trying scares you more than the fear that you might fail. And you realize there's something more important than your fears, something greater, something that cannot be ignored. You'll know it's meant for you when it feels like it isn't something you can do, but something you must do. When you've tried ignoring the call, but it only gets louder. When you recognize that this gift that you've been given can no longer be kept inside you, that you must share it with something bigger and greater than yourself, because this is what the world needs. You'll know it's meant for you because every cell of your being will scream while that inner voice whispers, "This is right. This is worth it. This is the way." So enjoy this short meditation, just about 12 minutes. Invite your childlike imagination, playfulness into this experience. Have fun with it. And we'll connect back after the meditation. This is a short visioning meditation that will support you in leaning in to the vision of your heart. Sit comfortably, allow your eyes to close, and begin to deepen your breath. Breathe in, breathe out. Bring your awareness to your heart, the very center of your chest. Begin breathing into your heart. Breathe in, breathe out. With each breath, feel your heart open, expand, tuning into the warmth, the energy at the center of your being. Breathe in, breathe out. Become aware of the space beyond your physical body. this infinite space. Breathe in, breathe out. Imagine breathing in a waterfall of white light flowing down through the crown of your head and into your heart, cleansing, clearing, harmonizing the central channel. Inviting this light in with each breath. Feel it opening your heart like a flower in bloom. Breathe in, breathe out. Connected from above to the field of infinite potential, and anchored in your heart, your connection to all of life. Breathing light into this beautiful heart of yours. Breathe in, breathe out. Giving yourself full permission to say yes to whatever vision wants to emerge from your heart. Imagine now waking up 1 year from today, looking back and saying, this was the best year of my life. What would have happened? What experiences would you have had over the course of this year? Breathe in, breathe out. Using your mind's eye to allow the vision of your heart to begin to flow through. Imagine waking up on this beautiful morning in 1 year's time. How do you want to feel when you wake up? Maybe you wake up feeling energized, connected, inspired, so excited for your day ahead. Breathe into how you want to feel. Allow these feelings to grow and to expand with every breath. Where in the world would you wake up? What would you see as you opened your eyes to this new day? Who would you wake up next to? Beginning to paint this picture within your mind's eye. Feel yourself getting out of bed, excited for your day ahead. How would you move through your day? How would you spend your time? Your work is simply your love made visible, fueled by your passions, your inspiration, your gifts, your talents. Doing what truly lights up your soul every day. Beginning to paint this picture, this vision of the heart.
Give yourself this feeling of having really arrived. You've made it. You're exactly where you want to be. Breathing that in. Notice what it feels like in your body to feel so confident, so fulfilled, knowing that you're doing the work that you know you're here to do, that you were born to do. You feel aligned, energized, and on purpose as you move through your workday. Who knew this level of success would feel this light, this free? Your heart is deeply activated with gratitude for the work you get to share with the world. Seeing the impact you're making in the world, breathing into this feeling of fulfillment. Allow each breath to be like a fire fueling this vision. See yourself doing what you've been dreaming of, stepping fully in. Feel your way into this experience, breathing in to the feelings of what you truly desire. With every breath, connect more and more deeply to the feeling that is ignited by these images. Feel life working for you as you step more fully into what is longing to emerge through you. Doors begin to open. The right people, circumstances, and experience all begin to flow in to support you on your path. Connection, love, purpose, freedom, whatever your heart is longing to experience, breathe this in. Allow these feelings to grow and to expand with every breath. What would it feel like now if you are already making the amount you desire every month by simply sharing your unique gifts and talents? It flows in with ease and with grace. The more you open yourself to allow this infinite light to flow through you, the more the universe conspires to support you on this path. Beginning to cultivate this feeling of trust within your body. Trusting the unfolding, all in divine timing. You've planted this seed into the garden of your heart, feeling it now, embodying it in this moment in time. You have everything you need within you, within this beautiful heart of yours. Each day, continuing to water this seed with your loving intention. Opening the channel for the inspiration to flow through. And trust that this or something better for the highest good of all is what will flow into your life. Breathing this trust into your heart. Maybe even bringing a gentle smile to your face as you feel yourself fully supported on this path. Taking one more deep breath into your heart, feel the expansion, carrying this energy, this fullness within your heart with you throughout your day, sharing this light with all that you meet. Really feeling back into your body, and coming back. And have any insight that flowed through from their vision that they want to share in the chat. How are you feeling? Maybe you're able to cultivate this sense of trust. Let's trust in the unfolding.
Rich says feeling awesome.
Carrie says she's a 10. Oh, that was maybe from earlier.
Carrie was already at a 10. That's amazing.
Yeah, yes, Carrie. Yeah, and that's the next step of this process is really, maybe it came through clearly, maybe it needs some nurturing, and that's perfect. Whatever flowed through. Maybe there was just a simple insight of something you wanted to integrate more within your life. But the next step is it's really allowing whatever it is that flowed through to come into form. So beginning to write this vision is a powerful next step. Is beginning, maybe it wasn't even so clear in the meditation, but as you begin to write, it begins to flow through. And the worksheet there is how ask some questions that will help support you. And as we mentioned before, really just taking your values, defining what your values look like as a integration in your life. So defining what each value means specifically for you and infusing these into your vision. That is one of the next steps.
Melody says, full aliveness is my goal. Being authentically with others and guiding others to being their authentic, fully alive self. God, love, presence. It's so beautiful. Melody, I love that. Yes, as we come more alive into our own authenticity and recognizing, our uniqueness, embodying, our uniqueness, we naturally are like a walking invitation for others to do the same, as people see that aliveness in you, and then it helps reflect, like the mirror neuron effect, reflect that within their own being. Maybe that even it just spawns a question, like, what was it about them that I read, that I resonated with, and that deeper self-inquiry starts to take place.
So then the next step is always creating that intuitive, inspired roadmap. And really, once we have the vision, we have the bigger picture. It's like, how can I begin to embody this and to take that inspired action? So really taking action on the vision, integrating something into your daily life. Maybe there's something you can do every day that supports you, supports this vision. A small change in maybe a habit, removing a habit that doesn't support you and replacing with a habit that serves this vision. So a reevaluation of your habits.
And this is what we dive into in our 3-month container for the Soul Path Accelerator. Is really we do a process, we work on it each during the week, and then we come back together as a group in this mastermind style at the end of the week and support each other, get this guidance, be with whatever it is that came up, work through this resistance together, hold one another accountable, and really rise together in community. And so it's like creating this big neural network, this tribe that we're growing with, and we can support one another, as Patty said, and even seeing each other's gifts, seeing maybe what we don't see within ourselves, helping each other to maybe see the possibilities, the opportunities that are available, and growing together. And so we touched on just one aspect of the Soul Path Accelerator, but it's really this process of this is the first step. It's the visioning process. And then over these 3 months, we work together to really bring this vision to fruition fully, and bringing it into a soul aligned offering that is connected and connected to exactly who you want to serve. And we do this in the power of group, the group energy, and rising together. So if there's anyone interested in that, we're also offering a special for anyone that wants to dive deeper. Maybe you have the clarity on your vision, but you don't know the next step. You don't know how the roadmap, and you want that support of a group. You want that sense of connection and rising really together, and really harnessing the network of one another as well. And so we're offering for anyone who joins this training $300 off the program. It's starting in a couple of weeks from now, about 3 weeks. We'll be diving in. So far, we have such a powerful group. We have about 8 spaces left. So for anyone who wants to join and join this training, we're offering $300 off for the next 48 hours. We can put the discount code in the chat box, or if you have questions, please reach out to us. But we had an amazing support system in creating and founding our businesses, and we want to offer the same. I really believe there's so much power in community, in growing and learning as a group, and having that, being in this energy week after week after week, and taking these small inspired actions every single week, making one change that's like this ripple effect. It's like dropping it into a pool, and you see the ripples as it's with this consistent inspired action.
Yeah, and it's like we're already all through the group being of support to each other. We're there for our specific intention, but also as we show up for one another, we're naturally tapping into this flow of abundance as we're just giving from our heart, connecting to our heart, sharing, recognizing those parts of ourselves, those unacknowledged parts, and seeing them in another, getting that inspiration, being reignited with passion, with hope, with inspiration, all breathing together, and the power of, many of you know from Soma, the power of breathing together, breathing life into a vision with beautiful soul tribe, all feeling that connection, that aliveness, giving each other those goosebumps, those electrical impulses, that make us each day more and more that full body yes, trusting ourselves more and more, really recognizing it's like that massaging of our consciousness of like for 3 months, every day, you're in a chat with other high vibrational beings that are also, inspiring and striving to connect with this bigger why, to show up on the planet for humanity right now. Like the world needs each of us to just fully step in, to remember, our power, and to do that with a group of beings that are also all, have that same focus, that same energy, is just such a beautiful process, and guided by spirit, invoking this deep transformative process. It's like the pruning of a tree, shedding, what is old, and awakening to what has always been there, that maybe has just been covered up by some dirt. And so we're there to breathe life, blow our breath, to wipe off the dirt, clear our lens, and to just see life through these vivid, colorful eyes, and tune into this beautiful high vibrational spectrum of reality, to see everything around us, supporting us, feeling connected, and seeing that everything is there to support us in life. Everything, every moment is exactly where we need to be. And the more we're reminded of that and walking into that, the more we trust our life, the more we can bring and inspire this, in others.
Yes. Amazing. Well, we're excited to see you back here tomorrow. So if any limitations came up, if any of those limiting conditions belief came up, become aware of them. And we're going to work through that tomorrow. Tomorrow's session is going to be a little bit different. It'll be a little less talking and a little bit more of the Soma breath full practice. We're going to deep dive into this, really using the breath as this vehicle to connect back to that space of essence within ourselves, to really embody this energy. So we have a full Soma journey for you tomorrow, along with a little bit learning about how to move through this resistance, working in shifting the mindset, shifting the lens of perception, and also embodying this through a journey.
And even I want to just echo what Melody said, is the letting go of the blocks, but also to moving into the space of full acceptance and embracing, the full spectrum of this resistance. And acceptance is the first step to letting go. And as we, can see and drop into this soul, space within us, this I am presence, we can see why all of these challenges, these hardships, and really to embrace them, the totality of our human experience, and see it as a stepping stone, as it's all part of the staircase leading us back to this coming home, and that everything had to happen exactly as it was. And trusting that even the hard times, the hardships, the challenges, the moments where we fall out of trust, it's all happening for a reason. That polarity, that duality of seeing and experiencing one spectrum, of our life experience, only to know and be able to fully enjoy the opposite. So it's tomorrow that the breath journey will kind of bring us into that state of full embracing and acceptance, so the body can naturally release what is ready to be let go of, and to feel it all, to embrace this beautiful life as it comes and flows. So thanks, Melody. Thank you for that.
Amazing. Thank you everyone so much for being here today, for your openness. And we look forward to seeing and connecting with you tomorrow.